Roger De Sá has been with Qatar's men's national team for 5 months now, and he's had a mixed bag of results in that time. Now, since joining the former Bafana Bafana head coach Carlos Queiroz on a 3-year deal, De Sá has been involved in 6 matches, losing 3, winning 2 and drawing 1. This is the ex-Orlando Pirates and Bidvest Wits coach's 5th national team job, with his last being as Iran's assistant at the 2022 FIFA World Cup. De Sá and Qatar's men's next assignments are expected to be around October this year. The coach joins me now via Zoom from the mother city. A very good morning to you, Coach. Thank you so much for your time. Just talk to us about the last 5 months in the Qatar camp. You seem a bit muted. Quickly, Coach, if you could just unmute yourself for us, please.
There we go. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah, it's been a tough 4 or 5 months. Total new project once again. Start all over again, and looking forward to it. This time around, it's going to be 3 years of a lot of preparation and a lot of work. But yeah, so far so good. Different challenges, as you can imagine. You know, every country is different. But so far so good. We had a pretty good start with a fantastic result against Mexico.
The Gold Cup, Coach, is it anything to read into in terms of where Qatar as a national football team is at? Or is it still work in progress for you and Carlos Queiroz to get the national team where you feel they can be?
Absolutely. The Gold Cup was exactly for that, was to try and show us where we're at, to see what we have and what we don't have. And the results were good for us because it gave us a lot of information about the squad, about the players that we brought in. A lot of young players. We took a lot of under-23s to the USA. And the objective was exactly that, to give the stalwarts a bit of a rest, the guys who played in the World Cup a bit of a rest. So now we know that we've expanded our sort of player net in Qatar, which is a very small net of players. I mean, we've got 3,000 registered footballers in the whole country. So it makes that very, very challenging, very difficult to get the talent. But now we know what we have and what we don't. So that was the whole objective of the Gold Cup.
What becomes the next target now as you head into the World Cup qualification with the AFC region? What are you guys now looking to achieve?
Well, now we go back in a couple of weeks' time and we start all over again, and we start preparing for a couple of friendlies and the World Cup qualifiers soon after that. And then January we got what is known as a big one, which is the Asia Cup in that region. It's like the African Cup of Nations. So we have that one in January that we've got to prepare for. But our real main sort of objective is to qualify for the World Cup. You know, South Africa is the only country that hosted and didn't qualify after that. And obviously the main objective with Qatar is not to be the same. So they're trying to make sure that Qatar qualifies after hosting.
Coach, Arabia is now become the talk of world football, with star players moving from European football to Saudi Arabia, to Qatar, to the UAE. You and Coach Pitso Mosimane have essentially, blazed the trail. You've opened the door for South African coaches to start thinking about potentially plying their trade in that region. The most recent coach now moving, in fact, she's a biokineticist, is Simone Conley. She's going to be joining the women's Al Ittihad team. So she'll essentially be breathing the same air as the likes of Karim Benzema and N'Golo Kante. Do you continue to urge South African coaches to think beyond South Africa and even Africa and start looking at potentially Arabia?
Look, I call it progress. I think you reach a couple of situations where you got to improve, you got to move on, and you got to get better, and obviously apply your trade elsewhere where people, respect your knowledge and your ability and so on. So you got to move on, and that's basically what Peter and I have done. You know, we've moved on. The people that wanted to work with us and wanted us in their country. And hopefully a lot of other coaches will do that. I saw Bradley Cornell in the USA. He's doing a fantastic job. Of course, Benny going back to the UK and Quinton Fortune staying there. So I think hopefully we just the first few, because there are sports coaches from South Africa all over the world. There are other trades. There are top doctors. There are top engineers. There are top everything. South Africans all over the world. So why not in the sports trade and in the football trade? So I think it's been good. We obviously stay in contact, over there because it's a lonely life as far as the South Africans are concerned. But it's been good so far, and hopefully we'll see a lot more. And there's a massive influx of footballers into that area. Of course, the money is the key factor there, but the development structures, their stadiums and what they want to build on is also phenomenal.
Coach, we can only but hope for the best for you, Coach Carlos Queiroz, and we can only hope that what it is you guys are targeting for the upcoming months and years even while you're there comes to fruition. Thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure having you here on ENCA. That is Qatar's coach, former Orlando Pirates coach, of course, and Bafana Bafana legend Roger De Sá, of course, talking to us. He's back home for a little while from Qatar. He's in Cape Town resting, and then he's going to be leaving off, of course, to go do his duties.